Good evening, everybody. I would like to first of all thanks all of you who joined the meeting. Day before yesterday, on Sunday evening, we have conducted this session with group Rehabilitation Science Group in Delhi. But that time the Zoom meeting was closed and most of the questions were asked on YouTube. But a lot of people wanted to ask one-on-one questions, so that is why we are repeating this session again today, so that if anybody has any question, I can help them directly. So let us start with today's meeting. Today's topic is strategic financial planning post-lockdown for physiotherapists. So as we know, physiotherapy is a noble profession, and we are not supposed to talk about a lot of business and money, but we are also professional, and we need to support our family financially, and for our goals also require financial stability. So that is why I'm sharing these financial details with everyone. So what is the impact of coronavirus on lockdown and our economy? Global economic has drastically affected all the countries in the world. Everybody's economy is right now in negative, from -2 to -3% of their GDP. But only India and China will survive this global impact, and their GDP from 6% will come to around 2 to 3%. So we are fortunate that our economical setup is such a way that we can we can survive in all the economical disruption which occurs in the whole world. What is the impact on the healthcare sector, and what are the healthcare services available in India? Compared to other countries, Indian healthcare services are very less, and we have less resources. So there will be a big mismatch between demand and supply. So as a therapist and healthcare industry people, we need to be cautious and ready to provide the demand which is asked by the world and our Indian population, so that we can give a good healthcare services to all our patients. If we compare all the sectors, uh, out of all the sectors in India, the maximum loan or debt are in the infrastructure, automobile, and metal industry. Whereas if you look at this power sector, there is a minimum, the pharma sector, which is having a minimum debt compared to others. So healthcare industry, there is a less debt compared to the other sectors. So probably healthcare industry will not get strongly affected compared to the other industries. What are the industries which are strongly affected? It is the entertainment industry, tourism, bank, real estate, hotel, airline, and car manufacturing. Whereas some industries who will be doing good and fairly in this time is FMCG industry, which are the fast moving goods product, which are our stationery and kirana shops are doing well. Pharma industry and healthcare industry will survive and do better in next few months to years. Usually whenever there is a recession and depression in the economy, everybody gets scared, and everybody goes in panic. But we need to remember that after every recession, there are a lot of people go in financial debt, and they have financial crisis. But there is always few people who become millionaire and they get very rich. If you look at 1930, there was a depression. Then again in 2002 and then 2008. After this, all things, there is always somebody always get rich. Even if you look at post World War One, America became very strong. So there is always somebody's loss and somebody's gain. It is up to you which side you belong. You need to prepare yourself for the all the crisis, and whenever there is a crisis, if you belong to a good side, you will be benefited very highly. Maybe this time you were not prepared, but next time I'm sure with the good financial education and learning, you will prepare yourself better for next financial crisis. Everybody please mute yourself. So what are the
ते नाही पाहिजे ना मग सेटिंग मध्ये तर
what are the different
कुठलं की
PT professionals are available right now? Usually there are employees. Employees can be in the college sector or hospital sectors, then clinical sectors like consultant who have their own clinic or they go for home visit, and then business type of professional who are doing a small scale business where they have 10 or 20 employees under them, or a big scale business where they got 100 200 employees. In this the employee sector, people will get less affected, or they are minimally affected. As you can see now, there are a lot of colleges are still running online courses and online lectures, and they are getting paid also some part of the salary or full salary. Similarly, in hospital, at least 50% of the population is working in providing the services, and some institutes are paying them salaries part-time or full-time. So they are little less affected compared to the clinical sector, or the home visit sector, that is drastically affected. It is a complete stop. As all the clinics are closed and the home visit is closed, so they got a high impact of this crisis. Even the small scale business as well as large scale business also affected. Only few large scale businesses, they are able to consult online by telemedicine, but most of them are highly affected during the period of crisis. After the crisis, the employee sector people will have a normal life as it was there, and they will start very fast. But if you look at their growth, it will be same as they are doing right now. It will be continued same, no big change. Uh, but in the clinical sectors and the home visit sector, the moment the lockdown will open, they will start fast, and the growth will be from V. There is a, this is called as V-shaped growth, where there is a sudden drop and then there is a sudden rise will be available in home visit and clinical sector, whereas business sector will show a U-shaped growth, where the in the beginning they will have gradual growth, but in long run these people are going to do great job. Minimum it will take around 6 months to 1 year to come back in the business. So who is going to survive this financial crisis? The only people who got cash in hand, the cash in hand or the cash in the bank, are the people who are going to survive. And how much cash? Suppose if your monthly expense is 50,000 per month, and if you got 12-month cash, then you will be doing great in this financial crisis. Even 6 month cash is good enough, because already you know the extension is extending more than the lockdown extension is extending more than 3 months. Anybody who had a cash in hand about 1 to 3 months will be drastically affected, and it will going to impact their financial stability. So why are we are in this financial crisis? Is it this natural disaster or the corona crisis caused the financial problem for us, or it was a bad financial management from the beginning, or is it a loss of or unable to make an emergency fund? Is it savings, cash flow, or investment? Natural disaster or corona crisis. All natural disaster or economical up and down is inevitable. It is bound to happen. History shows that every 30 years there is always an economical down or recession always happens. So after every 30 years, this economical crisis keeps coming up. We need to be prepared for all this type of economical crisis. Can we control this natural disasters or economical crisis? No, we can't. The only thing we can do is prepare ourselves for the economical crisis. About the emergency fund, why are we not having emergency fund? One, could it be due to lack of financial education, inflation, low income, or bad financial management? I think most of the problem is due to the bad financial management. So how do we do the financial planning? Anything that can be measured can be changed, and anything that cannot be measured cannot be changed. So the first thing I want you to that start monitoring your financial habit. If you can monitor and you know what is going on, you can change. If you don't know what is wrong with your financial habits, then you cannot change. So how to do this? How to do this financial monitoring? There are a lot of good online apps which does the money management uh, in your phone. For example, MoneyView app I use in my phone. It has a feature which automatically records all your messages of electronic transaction. Fortunately, after 2016, everybody is gone on digital payments, and most of us use cards or online banking instead of cash. So whenever you do any online banking or card payment, you always get a message, and that message will be stored in your phone, and this message get automatically read by the app, and it will show in your MoneyView app account. Only thing you have to do is that whenever you get that expense or income, you have to categorize them. Suppose you that expense is in the uh, capital investment, or it is in shopping, or it is in food, or it is for machines, or for
बात
payments.
सोचती हूँ कॉल करूँ.
So anything like that will be should be categorized. Once you categorized, you will get a graph showing which category is causing a lot of expenses. And once you know that category is causing a lot of expenses in your column, you can take a call. Do I need to reduce it, or there is something wrong with my financial habit? Based on that, you can do the alteration in your planning. Second, we always pay extra um, amount of money on late payment. This app will also give you reminder of late payments. In that case, you will pay all the money on time, and you will not have to pay extra. And you should also budget your finances. Suppose you make a budget of 2 lakh rupees per month. So once you over budget, once you spend above the budget, the app will always remind you that you are doing over budgeted spending, and then you can control yourself. So how to do the financial management? And we are talking about this personal financial management. What are the kind of income you get from the salary, consultation, all that I'm taking into consideration as the income column. Out of the whole income, 55% should be put into basic daily need, which is your absolutely required for your monthly functioning. 10% should be in emergency fund, and it should be at least stored about 6 months. As I said previously, if your monthly expense is 50,000, so for 6 months you will have to collect at least 3 lakhs of rupees, and it should be kept in the emergency fund and never should be used unless there is an emergency crisis like this. There should be 10% in enjoyment account, because all of us are working very hard, and you should appreciate yourself, or what you say, you help yourself by doing a lot of recreational activity enjoyment. If you are happy, then you will be working better and be more productive. 10% should be in saving account or investment account. When I say saving account, does not mean you save in the bank. You should save so that you can invest in some investment policies or investment planning. There will be separate session on investment planning. All these investment can be used for your financial future. 10% should be used in education. We only spend during our graduation or typical professional education. After that, we don't keep money for education. You should always keep 10% in education. Every year, I always keep 2 to 3 lakhs of amount for my education. So that is how everywhere I do some international or national courses on. I am a neuro person, so I do a lot of workshop on neuro, and I always spend 2 lakhs rupees extra on education. Or I learn a lot of business management things. So you should always keep learning throughout the life. And 5% should be in giving or donation account. Whenever you give something to someone, you always get something in return. and the something is not always proportional. It is always in 2 to 3 times, and sometimes it can go up to 10 times. So we should always do that. Now somebody will ask, but because my whole percentage of salary goes in my expense, so how do I save extra? So basically, you can start with 5%. If you cannot do everything like this, you can start with 5% and make a habit, and slowly you will be able to save a lot of money. So emergency fund. So emergency fund, basically you manage this fund for future planning or whenever there is a crisis. Why should you have an emergency fund? Emergency cases like this, or if you stay away from your family and you don't have any backup support, then you should have this emergency fund. This emergency fund will always give you a comfort zone, because you can try something extra and new, then you'll always have a backup plan because of this emergency fund. It will enhance your confidence level, and if you don't have any job after graduation, or you lose your job suddenly due to any reason, then you will always have emergency fund up to 6 months, and this will also secure your financial future. Savings, so you can save money in different format, like savings for account, retirement account, or emergency plan account, or a household rental account, or for buying a house, medical expense, pension, college, or vacation. This is the most important point. Everybody want to save, but nobody does, because of your financial habits. Whether you get a payment, you pay all the bills, you spend, and whatever is remaining, then you think about saving. This should not be always followed. You should always pay yourself first. Once you pay yourself first, suppose you pay yourself first 10% amount, the remaining 90% will be used in paying your bills and all the spending you are doing. So by this, you will always have some savings, and there will be always something will be in your emergency account. Investment, I am not the expert for the investment. You always talk to the experts, but when I say expert, don't go and follow anybody's advice. I say that you learn on your own about the investment. So my policy, whenever you want to play the game, you always learn the rules of the game first. Once you learn the rules of the game, then you start investing. Like, I'm still not good in the rules of the game about the investment, so I have not started in investments. But you can educate yourself, and then you can start investing. Always remember, whenever there is a financial crisis, everything will be on the sale. Only important thing is that, do you have that extra cash to buy what is there on sale? So a lot of people will be selling all their investment. The bonds and shares will be on a very low price. So if you got cash today, study the companies, study the progress, and then buy these shares at a very low cost, because after few months or few years, these shares values will always go high, and you will be benefited in this crisis. Education. I emphasize a lot on education. There are two types of education. One is a professional education, one is a financial education. Everybody always focuses on professional education. Our institutes, academic institutes, always focus on the financial education, but nobody teaches us about the finance in the college. They say it is bad to talk about money in colleges, and they never ever teach about the finance. But it is your duty, it is your liability to learn on your own about the financial education. If you don't spend time and money in educating about finances, you will never be able to have time and money for yourself. So always focus on increasing your financial IQ. And there are a lot of good books written by Robert Kiyosaki on how to increase your financial IQ. So these are all the books I read, and since 2004, and I got a lot of knowledge and upgradation of mind about financial literacy, thanks to Robert Kiyosaki and his teachings. So these are all the books I keep on reading continuously. Either I use hard books, or I do online audios, and learn from these books. You should always have mentors. If you don't have any financial mentor, then what to do? will do the way Eklavya did. Eklavya wanted Dronacharya to teach him bow and arrows technique and be expert in that, but Dronacharya refused to teach him. So he kept his statue and made him virtually as his mentor and started practicing, and he got one of the experts in bow and arrow technique. Similarly, right now we also have virtual mentors. Like presently, I follow my virtual mentors, which are available on online. They don't need to be directly in contact with you. They are available on YouTube and other websites such as Robert Kiyosaki, Grant Cardone, Elon Musk. Patrick Bet-David teaches a lot on economical and entrepreneurships. Naveen Jain, Vivek Bindra, and if during this period you also require motivation. If you are not motivated enough to learn something and do something and change your life, you will always fall back on your old habits. So please do follow every week at least one motivational video and watch it. So I follow a lot about motivational videos such as Eric Thomas, Les Brown, Tim Grover. He is the coach of Michael Jordan, the basketball player. So keep motivating yourself. Or you can follow these YouTube channels. These are very good YouTube channels about business and about education and motivation. My journey started with one single TED Talk, and it was a TED Talk given by Simon Sinek. The topic was start with the why. And that TED Talk changed my life. After that, I started watching a lot of TED Talks, and these TED Talks helped me improve my personal habits. It improved my intelligence, and then I started following a lot of TED videos by Valitainment, Patrick Bet-David, then Vivek Bindra, and all these videos helped me to start my business.